Ready to do it?
Kill it. Hashtags.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Elevator Life. I'm Tim.
Nick.
We're going through a pretty crazy time right now. Countdown to Boracay is 4 days. Getting pretty excited myself. What about you?
Yeah, I cannot wait to be on a beach and do as close to little of nothing as possible, but realistically that's impossible to do nothing. But it will be nice to be on the sand, in some warm waters on a tropical island.
Isn't that always the trick though? To try and do as little as possible on vacation, at least business-wise.
Yeah, exactly. But I guarantee we'll both have iPhones and various Apple products connected to us, or anything major that we may need to, give our full attention to immediately. But yeah, this week is all about tying up loose ends. We have a lot going on, a very busy week, but we're hoping Thursday night we go to bed calm, relaxed, and ready for a good 8 days of relaxation.
I think that's a lot of the trick too, is really trying to get everything done. When you're taking all these small vacations to give your brain a little bit of a rest, the trick is to get all that you can done prior to. That's almost how we try and schedule some of our vacations.
Yeah.
Where is business going? Okay, it's going here. We have these next few steps. Because in a business like ours and a lot of entrepreneurs, it never stops.
Yeah.
Obviously you don't have to be certain places all the time, like a regular job. But you have responsibilities.
There are no weekends.
Yeah, there are no weekends. It's a 7-day weekday or work day.
Yeah.
Work day.
Work week.
Work week.
Yeah.
But you gotta plan it around what you're doing, and it never dies. So obviously we're always gonna be connected when we're in Boracay. But hopefully all of our issues are as small as possible, so
yeah,
we can enjoy it.
Exactly. We have a very special topic today that we want to touch on immediately. So let's just jump right into it. And we really want to discuss the idea behind the elevator life and what it means to us and how we can relate it to you.
Yeah, very true. This is one of our favorite topics to talk about. So we want to give you guys a little insight into the meaning behind us, the brand, and what we're all about.
Yeah, exactly. Should we just jump right into it?
Yep.
Alrighty, so the elevator life is really just about, there's your goals that you have. We have end goals. Everybody has end goals. But, we can nearly guarantee every one of our viewers can elevate their life in some way, shape, or form today.
Exactly.
Would you agree with that?
Exactly. It's all about the elevated life. What does your elevated life look like? We all have our big end goals. I'm sure just like yours, our end goals are up here,
Way up there.
And as entrepreneurs, when you're pursuing something for a long time, I know a lot of entrepreneurs that they can feel stuck, or, they're not making much progress towards those goals. And because they have one thing that they're looking at, and it's here. It's when they're working day in, day out, it can be hard to follow that, hard to, remain confident and trust that you can get there. And so what we've, really grasped and, developed for ourselves is ideas of our personal elevated life. When we get to that goal, what does it look like? And how can we take the small things about that life that it will look like when we get there and do them right now? How can we live our elevated life currently?
Yeah, exactly. Me just said it brilliantly. Is just that our end goal, we envision our days as full days. We don't take aspects of it that you can change with small little changes or calibrations to your daily life. Let's jump right into a personal one for us. Right off the bat is wine. We're both avid wine lovers. That's obviously why we took on that challenge to bring it to China. And
do what you love, right?
Exactly. If you don't love what you're doing, change what you're doing. Anyways, that quote's been used way too many times. But yeah, we both love wine, and we're able to enjoy that on if we want a daily basis. It's not, but if we so pleased, we could be sipping wonderful Pinot Noirs from Oregon or Cab Sauv from Washington or what have you, because we've put ourselves in a position to have very, very easy access, affordable access to these products.
Exactly. You said it great, and this is one of the concepts for me, that it's been a learning process to understand and to get to this point. because I started out with just these ambitious goals, you know, and we're making it to them. But along the way, I learned, you know, that you don't have to wait to get them to start living the kind of life that you want to live in the future. And you know, so what we always tell ourselves is, picture what your elevated life looks like. What will you be doing? You know, where will you be? How will it look? You know, and there are certain things in that picture that we've realized we can actually do right now. We don't have to wait until we've hit this goal. We can do it right now. And so, you know, one thing to ask yourself is, what does your elevated life look like? When you've reached your goals, what does it look like? And our message is a lot for entrepreneurs, but also for other people. But you can't say, oh, when I get my goals, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit there. Yeah. Obviously, because in our mind, that's not an elevated life. But when you hit your elevated life, what does it look like? What are you doing?
Yeah, like when you wake up in the morning, are you waking up to an alarm clock? Are you waking up to a set schedule? Are you waking up to a really good cup of coffee? You know, all these things, you know. Okay, granted, if you're waking up in like a $10 million penthouse, you might not be able to change that overnight. But if you're a big coffee fanatic and you love a great, you know, beyond Starbucks quality espresso, you can go get the espresso machine, you know, down at any kind of giant retailer. I mean, they have IKEA out here for one. It's just, you know, you can add that aspect to your life. So when you wake up, that high quality coffee, that's something that you really want or pursue, is there.
Exactly. You know, he said it great. I always wanted an espresso machine. And until a little bit ago, I had never, you know, considered. I always thought that was like up here. Like when I get older, when I've made it, when I'm like, you know, sitting there reading the newspaper, I'll sip my little espresso. But, you know, that's something I could do right now, you know. So I went out and got an espresso machine, you know. So we'll go through a little personal, you know, anecdotes of how we view our elevator life, the small things in it, and how those, you know, things that we can get right now.
Yeah.
I'll start. You know, one of mine is to view two new countries a year, to travel to 2 new countries a year. And you know, a lot of people back in the United States, especially me before I came to China, I didn't do a lot of that. Yeah. You know, you never feel like you have the time. But, you know, the more we've been at this, the longer we've been here, the longer we've been entrepreneurs, you realize that in 12 months, 2 vacations to 2 different countries is feasible.
Yeah, very
feasible. On whatever budget you're on. You can go to 2 new places for a week, 2 weeks, have a great time, yeah, you know, and do some traveling. And that was something we realized a year ago, you know, and we were able to take full advantage of, even though we're still not at our end goal.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about, I mean, it's really important to allocate your resources and, you know, figure out where your priorities lay. Because obviously, you can go to 5 happy hours a week, but there go, you know, at least one of your vacations. Because that's not cheap. You know, 20 times 5, that's $100 a month, $100 a week, $400 a month. I mean, right there, you do 2 months, and you're looking at a round-trip ticket from the States to Europe, some places in Asia, etc. Something I want to touch on is making my own schedule. That has always been a dream of mine, and you know, we've been able to make that happen. And I talk to friends about it, family about it. Tim and I talk about it all the time. When you wake up, and you know what motivates us to get up is know that if we don't do our work, no one's going to do it. So, you know, I wake up every morning motivated to get up and get started. I don't hit the snooze button. I don't roll around for 15 minutes. I get up, I'm in the kitchen, I'm making breakfast, because I have the liberty to do that. And a lot of people do not. They have those time constraints that, although we put them on ourselves, we made them ourselves. So we're comfortable with them and we've accepted them.
Yeah. That's actually how this whole idea started, you know. One of the things that we wanted, like, what do you guys want to do, was the question in university. What do we want to do? You know, we were talking to each other, well, we want to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we didn't even have these grandiose plans of how we were going to do it, how we were going to become millionaires. We just like, where's an affordable place we can live and try and do that?
Yeah.
China, you know, and we hardly made any money our first year.
Oh, yeah.
But we were still entrepreneurs in the sense of the word, you can call it.
Yeah.
We were still doing what we thought we wanted to do. So we're going to take it down a little bit to some even simpler things that, you know, we haven't even realized were part of our elevator life until just recently.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it was today at the gym. One of the things, you know, they just strike you when you're doing them. It's like, man, and it happens to everyone. I was at the gym and I'd been listening to this playlist, probably happened to you guys, like, you know, 3 weeks in a row, and I was like, I wish I just had this playlist that was like 150 of some of my favorite songs, and when you shuffle through them, you'll never get tired of one of the songs because, you know, there's so many. Yeah. And I realized, I was like, well, I don't have to wait, you know, to sometime get that. I could probably go tonight, hit some people up that have really good playlists, and get that.
Yeah.
You know, it's the small things in life. They're like, what do I want? Oh, I want this. Well, I can get that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Another thing. This is also based off music. Personally, I'm very into music when I listen to it, and also I think, you know, if you're working in a public atmosphere, drowning out the atmosphere, the noise that the atmosphere produces or the environment produces is of utmost importance to be productive. So, you know, a good pair of headphones. I mean, there's Beats by Dre, there's Bose headphones. I mean, those are high end. But I also know there's pairs of headphones you can get out there for 100 to 200 US. I mean, Beats start around the 200 range that block out everything.
And if that's your priority, $200 is not a lot to spend to get you one step closer to your elevated life.
Exactly. You know, the productivity of being able to focus, you know, your focus. I have an inspiration mix, thought-provoking mix on my computer, my iPod, just whether I'm walking somewhere or whether I'm sitting at the laptop trying to create new ideas or trying to get savvy with an email. You know, these kind of things, this music helps me focus. And again, you know, you're so much more productive if you have that direct focus versus, you know, iPod buds in and you hear the conversation to your left, people ordering coffee to your right. It's just you're just a lot more, like, centered on what you need to do if you're one of those people who needs to drown everything out and focus exactly on what you're doing.
Exactly. And one last example that, you know, we kind of realized together. One thing that we had always wanted to do was wear nice clothes all the time. You know, and that wasn't necessarily the brands. It was to, like, look nice. You know, maybe walking down the street in a suit or, you know, a nice collared shirt. And I had always thought of that as, okay, you know, when I start to make it big, I'll just go out there, drop a lot of money, buy these clothes, look really good all the time, you know, power suit. Well, no, but
Power suit.
You know, we realized, especially here in China, but there are also websites, you know, that do really cheap tailor fitting, you know, with really nice quality materials that, you know, we can go get tailored right now.
Yeah.
We can get tailored clothes, any kind of clothes we want. I don't necessarily have to go buy the LV brand, but I can go get clothes that are personally tailored to me that make me look really good, right?
Yeah, true story. Yeah, true story. When I was in Shanghai, 2009, I met businessmen who'd fly over for 3-day weekends. So they'd fly over, have 10 plus suits tailored. I have a custom tailored suit, Armani fabric, and in 2009 I got it for around 80 bucks. I can still wear it. Fabric is flawless, beautiful, completely custom tailored. They'd fly over, get 10 of them. A custom tailored suit in the US, you're pushing a couple grand. So, you know, 80 times 10. So let's say $1,000. Your 10 suits and a round trip ticket, you're looking at, you know, $1,200 to $1,500, total $3,000. Your 10 custom tailored suits, let's say, that's, you know, the high end of the ballpark. That's a pretty good deal, you know. And, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you look good, you feel good, you act good, right? So if you can, you know, if that's important to you, that's something very feasible you can do, yeah, through online outlets, or if you're in Asia, it's a lot easier to do if you're here too.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to kind of round up the idea, the meaning of it. And a meaning, you know, that we want all of you guys to understand as well, you know.
Yeah.
The idea that we've really grasped and taken into is it's the small steps. Everyone has their goal. You know, I hope you guys do, that you have your goal and it's as high as possible. But in that little journey, you know, these little elevator life steps help you get there. They help you feel like you're already living your goal before you get there.
Yeah.
You know, and it really pushes you along. Like we said in the beginning, you know, you can get tired, you can get kind of defeated if you're working for a year, 2 years for this lofty goal. Everyone needs a lofty goal, but everything in your elevated life up there, not everything is because of money.
Yeah.
Not everything is because of where you are. There are certain things in our lives that we've realized we can do now, and I guarantee there are certain things in your life, whatever you envision as your elevated lifestyle, whatever up here looks like to you, there are certain things in that lifestyle that you can do right now before you have a lot of money, before you have all the free time you want, before you have all that. There are certain baby steps you can take to get yourself there.
Yeah, you don't go 0 to 100. It's not like you wake up the next day and boom, your life is, well, Tim's is way up here, but he's got longer arms. Anyway, the little things really do make the difference, and it's a taste. It's a taste of, one, it's a taste of the actual idea or the product or the consumer good itself, but also it's a taste of that life you desire. So it's also a big motivating factor. And I mean, we've been fortunate enough to access a few of those, but we have a lot more on our list that we will, I repeat, not maybe, but will achieve in the future.
Yeah. One important marketing concept that's a lot, taught very often is to dramatize your ideas. When you're trying to sell something on them, show them what it's like. And so, when you're going for a goal, you got to show yourself what that end goal is going to look like, what it's going to feel like. In your elevated life, these baby steps that we're taking ourselves, that everyone can take, dramatizes the idea for yourself.
Yeah.
It sells you on what you're working towards. It sells you what it's going to feel like when you get there.
You can take action on a lot of the things in your dream life today, and I'm positive you can, reach those little goals that build up into your big goal. Before you know it, you're going to be nearly living that lifestyle you want to, and then, you're just going to reach that breaking point to where you actually make the transition to your elevator life, and your elevated life. And wherever that is, whether it's, location or free time or what have you, there are steps you can do today that give you little tastes.
We'll instantly say, to show you guys how easy it is to figure out, things that, you want to do, we'll each instantly say 2 things that I would like to do and am going to start to do hopefully in the next few months, that are part of what I want to be in my elevator life.
3, 2, 1.
You ready? You want to go first or me?
I'll go first.
3, 2, 1.
Diet, learn to DJ.
Piano, learn Spanish. These are things that aren't expensive, and we can start on right now. So guys, our message here at the Elevator Life is, picture in your mind what your life up here looks like, and what are the small things in that you can start accomplishing today. It'll make you feel good, and it gets you closer to your goals.
Yeah, it's all about motivation, inspiration. Stay dedicated to your end goal, and slowly but surely you're going to start to raise floors, if you will, and you'll be elevated before you know it.
So what does your elevated life look like?
Yeah, we'd love to hear it actually. We've heard we have crazy goals, other people we know have crazier goals, and other people have, simpler goals. And they're all interesting to us because we love other people's perspectives. So shout them out to us on, Twitter, blog, Facebook, the routine. And yeah, get in touch with us. We love to connect.
Sounds good, guys. See you later.
Cheers. Bye.